Got an interesting golf template hole, the Thompson Plateau. Now this is a type of golf hole that's designed features by the famous golf architect Stanley Thompson. It is known for being challenging but also strategic layout that requires careful planning and shot perfection. Here is what makes a Thompson Plateau hole so special. Well, the main thing would be the elevated green. One of the key features of this is the elevated green that is often located on the plateau or elevated area. This means the golfer needs to hit his approach accurately and often strategically to a distance to reach a risen green. Another major special factor would be strategic challenges. The hole typically has strategic design where the fairway or tee box is positioned in a way that requires precise shots. Elevated green makes it much harder to judge the distance and requires golfers to be accurate with their approach. Another key factor is the bunkers or the hazards. You'll have to see some well-placed sand bunkers sloping, maybe even off the green towards the sand bunker itself. These features challenge golfers and avoid getting trapped if you're on one of these type of golf holes. Another special feeling is the risk reward. This design creates a risk reward situation for golfers. Now, also the approach shots. The greens are elevated, so golfers might need to choose the right club to strategically and calculate the shots carefully onto the green. Too much distance can send the ball flying to the back, while leaving too much little can have a rough recovery. Now overall, his template holes really have set the foundation for great golf design, and we're eager to learn about this gentleman himself. So let's take a look at the gentleman Stanley and his historical bio.
The next golf designer is Stanley Thompson. We got a par 3 from him. He's the Canadian great of golf design. Most of his courses are in Canada, but he's built a few in the United States. Now the big fella has built a lot of great golf like Jasper Parks, and I haven't played any of his courses in particular, but I'm going to take a look now and see if I have. And Stanley was known for his scattered bunkers. Stanley Thompson's really known for his style of bunkers. You can see we're almost on a different hole here, a different course when playing the Stanley.
And quickly I realize I haven't, because most of them are sitting up there in Canada. We're going to talk all about Stanley, who was born September 18th, 1893, who was a Canadian golf designer of the higher standards and also a great amateur golf. He co-founded the American Society of Golf Architects. We're going to walk through his history of where he was born in Toronto as a seventh of 9 surviving children. His parents, well, they were middle class, and his father worked for the railroad system. And 4 of his brothers were all developed excellent golf skills, and each made a significant contribution to Canadian golf in general. Now, all of 5 Thomas brothers started caddying at Toronto Golf Club, which is located on the east side of the city, which gave them access to golf and golf resources. In 1908, Stanley went into college, where he played on the Rutgers team, then graduated to go right to Ontario Agricultural College, which then changed names, for 1 year and left April 1913. Now, he served on the Canadian military at some point in 1914 to 1915, and then was dispatched in 1917, where he was a gunner. Where does golf come into play? Well, during this time in the military service, he was traveling all over and visiting these top golf courses and there's also conversations that he was working at a golf course prior to even starting military. Now, when the war ended, he returned to Canada and was a full-time golf architect, going into business himself in 1923. perfect time to get involved because of the expansion of golf in North America. There was some new courses and millions of new golfers, so he was busy at work those first couple years. Consistently built courses from 1912 to 1952, mostly in Canada. Did credit his start from golf design to George Cumling. He was a longtime professional at Toronto Golf Club and served on several golf administrations during the 20th century. In 1948, Thomas was a co-founder with Robert Trent Jones and Donald Ross to build the American Society of Golf Architects, where he served as the president in 1947, and four of his associates also later served as presidents. Got his Hall of Fame or his Walk of Fame when he started the world famous golf courses that were then switched over to national parks in Canada. We're going to list some of those on here, but overall, this gentleman has consistently built great golf courses in Canada. I'm really hopeful that I would be able to play one of his courses, and we will be targeting his courses in the near future. We do golf reviews. We target golf courses. We're at 150 something golf reviews total now, and we record them. Each one is different, and we talk about the history of the golf. We learn about these golf architects, and then we talk about it while we're on the course. And hopefully, in the near future, by the time you're watching this, we're getting a little bit better and more traction. Until then, we appreciate you watching and learning about this Canadian native who unfortunately did die in 1953, January 4th, but he still leaves a legacy of golf for his generations to come, and hopefully for the near future, a lot of golf courses will be mimicked off of his bunker play. And I was never really a fan of extreme bunker play because it is hard to keep up with. But for some of these courses that have a lot of money, it's respectful to have a hole at least dedicated to his bunker play. And that's going to do it for our episode with the Parfessor, an independent golf channel. Keep on playing, or if not, learn a little bit more about golf with the Parfessor.